Good afternoon. I'm Pastor Kurt. Welcome to this afternoon's version of the 416 devotionals during Advent. I want to visit with you just a little bit about Christmas and some thoughts I've had about Advent and Christmas. I have in front of me here a manger scene that's been a part of our family for a long time. One of the traditions in our family is to set this up and put it under the Christmas tree and have it. Both of my brothers have a version of this. My mom and dad had this, bought it for us in the 60s, and we've been using it ever since as we prepare for Christmas. I got to thinking about what made that first Christmas so memorable, so extraordinary. Joseph and Mary weren't at home. They had traveled from Nazareth down to Bethlehem for a census. So they were about 100 miles from home. It's probably about 30 hours of walking or donkey riding to get down there. So they were a long way from home. That's memorable, being away from home at Christmas. They had a baby. That's memorable, right? That's extraordinary. Having a baby in a barn, that's unusual. Different. Being in that barn with the sights and sounds and smells of sheep and cows and goats and whatever else were in the area at the time. A memorable first Christmas. Different, but memorable. God coming to the earth through the baby Jesus. I bet you can think of some memorable Christmases that you and your family have had over the years. I've been thinking about that. I've got one that kind of comes to the top. It was Christmas of 1992. Our oldest daughter, Elizabeth, was 2 at the time, and our youngest daughter, and Rachel, was just 1 at the time. We lived in Alamogordo, New Mexico, and we booked a ride on the train, the Amtrak train from El Paso, Texas to St. Louis. We boarded the train on December the 23rd, and it was a 40-hour ride. And we had a sleeping car, a little sleeping compartment in the back, very last car of the train. And we were on the train for Christmas Eve and got to see all the little towns lit up that evening as we rode through Texas and Arkansas and Missouri on our way to St. Louis, where we arrived on Sunday morning. Different, for sure. We celebrated the birth of Christ that Christmas Eve with a little devotional and a little story on the train, and dinner in the sleeping car. We slept overnight on the train, and I'll tell you what, some of those curves through southern Missouri, it felt like our car was flying in the air as the train zipped around the curves down there in southern Missouri. But we arrived at the St. Louis station on Christmas Day that morning to celebrate with our family. So memorable for sure, and different. And this year, Christmas will be different for sure, right? Because of all the COVID guidance. Our oldest daughter, Elizabeth, our youngest daughter, Grace, son-in-law, Zane, our grandchildren, Jack and Eliza, aren't coming home for Christmas like we had planned. Things will be different, but that doesn't mean that things can't be memorable. A memorable Christmas. So what are you doing with your family to keep some of the traditions that you have going, and yet incorporate something new this year that'll make Christmas memorable? I want to invite you to our Christmas Eve services on December the 23rd and 24th. You can find more information on our website, but we have drive-in candlelight services set for 3:30 and 5 o'clock on both Christmas Eve and on Christmas Eve. If you're not able to be out and about, or if you happen to be out of town, we have live streams that are going to be given at 7 o'clock and 11 o'clock on Christmas Eve. Those are pre-recorded services. The 7 o'clock is the contemporary service, and 11 o'clock is a traditional late night Christmas Eve service. So I invite you to think about Christmas will be different, but this Christmas can be as memorable as any Christmas that we've had. In the Gospel of John, Jesus says to his disciples that in this world you're going to have trouble, but he has conquered the world, and so be of good cheer. And that's my message to share with you this morning is this Christmas can be memorable. It'll be different for sure, but it can be memorable. And as we prepare this Advent season, be of good cheer. Take care.